Today, we make our way down to Lyttleton to talk to Anthea de Milo about her new album, The Vicar's Daughter. Anthea, or Pipes, is in good form, keen to talk about the music she calls dirty, raw soul. You got The Vicar's Daughter out. When did it come out? December 2nd. So it was just a few days ago, about 10 days ago.
Yep.
So how's it feel to have it out there?
It's good. I mean, I think I'm most excited about having it on vinyl, and at the moment the vinyl's stuck in custom. So I'm a bit frustrated about that because it's the kind of album that it lends itself to being heard on vinyl with some whiskey,
Yep.
you know, and a bit of sadness. So I mean, I feel good, but it's taken such a long time to make it. You know, it's sort of like I used to do a lot of shows, and you know, you'd take months rehearsing, and then you know, you sort of have the open night, and it's sort of birth, isn't it? You know, you're giving birth to something and you just, you know, give it to the world and let go. So I've just kind of gone, okay, who's meant to hear it will hear it. Who's meant to find it will find it.
So when did you start making the record then? How far back?
So it was with COVID. This one was with COVID, and I was sitting on my deck, pretty bored, looking at the blue seas, and got my guitar out. And I'm not one of those kind of always playing. I'm a bit naughty, you know, like I'll go and jam with people, but I have to be quite bored to actually get my guitar out, or quite sad. Normally it's sad or bored.
Okay.
So I got the guitar out and sat on my patio, and I just came up with the first song, and I was kind of missing some faces from around the town, and that's where it all started. Yeah.
Ah, very good.
So 2020.
2020. So when did you start actually recording?
Out of COVID.
Right.
We did it at Sublime Studios. Would have been about a year ago.
Right.
Yeah,
and you got
Adam.
You got Adam Hattaway and Elmore Jones helping you out. How did that happen?
Yeah, they're amazing. Well, because I've been in bands for years around Lyttleton, and different genres, country, and then a doom band and all sorts. So I'd played with these boys a lot back in the day at different things. And so when at one Wednesday night at the Wonder Bar, a local bar in Lyttleton, I said to Adam, I've come up with some songs, you know, like, and he's like, I'm in, I'm just in, I trust you, I'm in. And same with Elmore. So they just kind of, I've kind of always been told I have pipes. So they were just kind of on board to make music with my pipes. So that's kind of how that came about. Yeah.
So when the actual making of the record took place, who did what? What kind of roles did everybody take on?
So I kind of just wanted it to be a really unpretentious album, and that I was going back to my roots of kind of a bit of gospel, some sadness. I had a few songs that I hadn't put on other albums. I've never released the other ones, but people around Lyttleton have them, and on vinyl and all sorts. And you know, so the different roles. So I kind of because when you have good enough musicians, you can kind of trust them. I love it when they can bring what they have, you know. So I write the songs, and then I just go, what do you make of this? And then they'll come up with some, you know, some magic, and then I'll go, oh, I like that magic. Or I'll be like, oh, can I have more of that? Can I have more of this? So it was a team effort, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So I got to talk about Mama Got It Bad, because you made a video for it. We show folks a video, and you got fruit all over your head on it. So we got to talk about that. But first, let's start with the guitar riff. Sounds a little Muddy Waters-y, but
100%. It is. It was literally.
You won't drink my water or my wine. You disappoint me right on time. I used to cry, but you only deny. You're all pleasure man when you walk on by. Oh my God,
it was my call and response to Muddy Waters, you know. Right. It was like, I kind of imagined, you know, I've known sort of men of that ilk, you know, that kind of travel a lot and they play the blues. And so it was kind of, it was a reply, you know, to some of those men, you know, it's, you know, who you know, sort of waiting for the train to come and wash away the love, you know, that it cuts both ways. So it was a reply to Muddy Waters. That was kind of the intention.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like you had fun making the video. So.
Yeah. Well, I went to drama school many, many years ago and did a lot of musical theatre.
Right.
So I kind of wanted it to be in Lyttleton. It's all very cool. You know, I feel like Rainbow Bright and the Addams Family in Lyttleton. You know, a lot of my cohorts that have come out of Lyttleton are, you know, they're very beautiful and they're very you know, arty and black and white, beautiful. I kind of wanted to just rage against it and be like, put it all out there and you know, quite simply not give a fuck. You know, it was like this is what it is, and also kind of liberate others. Like, who cares? You know, just be ridiculous, own your ridiculous, wave your flag. You know,
is that kind of what inspired Prettier Than Morphine?
It's never the pretty girl. Never the pretty girl. Just wanted to be prettier than morphine.
Pretty Than Morphine is probably my favorite. And,
really?
It's about yeah, I think it's my favorite, and it's about a past relationship, and that's probably the most arty, you know, and it's interesting that I love it the most when I've just said I love raging against it all.
Yes.
But I kind of let myself sound pretty on it, you know, right. And I think I often try and make things a bit dirty or gritty, or if there is a pretty note, I will contort it. Right. Whereas I actually let that song actually have some beauty to it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of beauty, that
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And speaking of beauty, you do a beautiful job on Crazy. Why'd you choose to cover that?
Crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue.
I've always loved that song, and yet it's interesting. The other day, someone had heard the album, and he was running through what he liked and didn't like, and he's like, "I don't like the song Crazy, but you did it great, you know, wonderfully." And I just was like, "It's cool," you know. He's like, you know, talk through all the other ones, and I've loved the song. So I think if you love the song,
right.
And whenever I heard, you know, Patsy sing it, I know it was written by, you know, Nelson,
yep.
But when you ever hear, I would always kind of feel the words. I mean, when you've been in love and you've been destroyed by love, or you've let yourself be destroyed by love,
yeah,
you know, the way she sang it, it didn't quite resonate enough with the pain of the words. You know, it was always kind of, it was too pretty for me. So right. I kind of wanted to do it, you know, to give her some dues by doing it in a similar fashion, but to kind of try and be a bit more real and honest and gritty and raw. And I think, you know, especially if you've had some whiskeys and you listen to it late at night, you can hear that.
Yep.
Just to actually get the pain across more, you know, the actual, you know, that love can make you fucking crazy, and how that would actually sound. You know, not always pretty. Not always pretty.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so that's why I covered that.
Cool. Yeah. Excellent. Now, when people ask you to describe the album and your music, do you tell them it's country music?
No, because I have done country albums back in the day, and they were real country. Well, not, you know, kind of like indie country.
Right.
Kind of, you know, I'd say probably inspired by sort of Ryan Adams, kind of, you know, that genre. Lucinda Williams, you know, my daughter's called Lucinda. There was a real big country. There was a big country scene around Lyttleton through the earthquakes, and I was sort of a part of that. Right. And there are a lot of players in that scene that are now quite well known. But you know, I wouldn't call it country. I'd kind of call it dirty, sort of a dirty raw soul album, maybe, or yeah, I don't even really know. Maybe bit of gospel, a
Yep.
bit raw, a bit of soul,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably just say dirty, raw soul.
All
Yeah.
right. Although I got to say, Dead Sea is pretty twangy. It's got some country to it.
Out on the open sea, there was a ship with my name. It's in the port right now where the oceans are tame, where it knows how to rain. Maybe I was to blame.
There's a twang there. And that actually, when I was I went to Israel when I was 17 on my
Right.
own, and then I moved when I was 18. I moved there for 6 months, and I was looking for God. Long story. My dad was a
Right.
vicar. Some crazy stuff happened. So that whole song is actually, I was the Dead Sea overlooking a huge full moon, and some magic happened, and a lot was going on, and so that song sort of just goes through every chapter of my life.
Right.
Or some chapters, and I traveled the world a lot. So yeah, it's that is quite twangy, and maybe it's because it's kind of got that chapter like narrative. It probably has a bit of that country sort of thing as well.
Right. Well, you touched on
Yeah.
it a little bit. I mean, the album is called The Vicar's Daughter, so you obviously want to be identified for this record as that. Why so?
Yeah, but it's kind of I mean, have you seen the album cover?
I don't know if I have. Actually, that's a good question.
Because you need to see the album cover.
Everything's on files,
Yeah. I need to show you the album cover. This is the album. This is the album cover.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. That's it. Yes.
Yeah. A big fat pussy.
Yes.
Lots of tattoos.
Lots of tattoos.
And some stripper.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And a big fat pussy and stripper heads. So, so kind of, so when you say to be identified, it's kind of the irony, like my father was a preacher man when I was young, and then became a vicar later on, and so I was brought up fundamentalist when I was young, so that was pretty.
That's always a good start.
Crazy. Whew. But they gave me music. We had to sing, for hours every Sunday. So I would be singing, and that's where I got the pipes.
Right.
So it's sort of, once you actually, the Vicar's Daughter is kind of a ironic. It's true.
Sure.
But I'm kind of all those things they say that often, vicars' children end up like,
Gotcha. Yeah.
pretty naughty. I'm pretty naughty. Yeah.
So do you have a favorite hymn? Is it Just a Closer Walk with Thee, or is there another one?
Yeah, I love Just a Closer Walk with Thee. I love How Great Thou Art.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like, Howard Morrison doing How Great Thou Art.
Yeah, he's done that.
So magnificent. So yeah, I love How Great Thou Art. And that was kind of my ode to Janice Joplin, who are doing Amazing Grace. Okay, well, I'm not going to make it quite so dirty because I really like this song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, if Janice can do it, I can do it. She's my girl. I'd be her little sister. Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah. So are you taking the show on the road? Have you done many shows? Are you going to do many shows?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I'm a mama. I'm a mama, so I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and so I used to play in a lot of, I used to do a lot of gigs and whatnot. I do want to come to Auckland next year.
Yep.
But and I will at some stage, and I love playing live, but I give a lot when I play, and I'm quite exhausted for a week afterwards. It gets quite metaphysical. So now I sort of tend to perform maybe 4 times a year.
Gotcha.
And get everything, and it's kind of a treat if you get to see me. So yeah, when I come to Auckland next year, I'll definitely will let you know, and you'd love it. I'm sure. Yeah, I love live, but I just also everything that surrounds it. I used to drink too much, and smoke too much weed, and I'm trying to sort of get away from some of that stuff. So it's about finding what works for you. So at the moment, it's just make something beautiful, and hopefully people can have a listen. Yep. When they're sad at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So what does your 13-year-old daughter think of your music career?
She's a little skater girl who loves the ocean, and and she's quite beautiful. She doesn't really, she listens, but she doesn't. Like she'll say, "Oh yeah, I downloaded you on Spotify," you know, and I'm like, "Oh, you're one of my 40. Thanks, babe." Yeah, but yeah, she's kind of quiet. She's pretty cool, but she's sort of quietly. I'm trying to just, sort of, teach her and everyone just make stuff. It doesn't have to, whether it's found or not. Just keep creating beautiful things, and
I agree.
and
Yep.
just for the state of the universe, you know.
Yep. And it's always there once you make it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it has been a struggle. I mean, even just before you, I found out the customs bill.
Oh, right. Oh my God.
And I was just on the phone to Gina, and I was like in tears, just being like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm a single mom. Like this has just cost me so much money." But I know that in 10 years time, 20 years time, and I think this album will stand. I think there's about 5 crackers on there.
Well,
As I say, I think there's about 5 that could be on a Tarantino film.
gotcha.
Okay, but I think yeah, in 10, 20 years, I'll look back and just be, proud of myself. I mean, I do a lot of other things too. I like creating jewelry or whatever.
Yep.
But I think you've got to have a lot going on, and I won't regret it. Like you said, it's there. People will have the vinyl, and they'll be able to pull it out with the big fat pussy and the tattoos, and play it on sad rainy nights. Yeah.
But then the question obviously is, how do you follow that up? Are you thinking about that?
Yeah.
What are you going to do next?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the great thing about it is that, if you do even, when it is at these shops, like Penny Lane and Real Groovy, it will stand out, you'll see it. And it's a great present because anyone could listen to it, anyone that likes pipes. And a lot of men, I find, like the pipes. So if you like pipes,
very good.
Yeah, they like the pipes, and that I often have it's always that. Even your Hamish Kilgour that just passed away, he really wanted to make music with me, and it was my pipes, and he was always like, "Hey, pipes," and we never got down to Sublime Studios, but yeah, I think a lot of men like the pipes, and so if you like a big voice, then it's a great thing to own, I think.
Cool. All right. Well, I can't wait for you to come up here for one of your 4 shows per year, and make sure you come up to Auckland. Gee, many crickets. You got to make your daughter a roadie so you can keep her with you. She's only 4 shows.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then she can be part of the thing, and you're all set.
That's such a good idea. If I could get her to listen to me, that would be amazing.
Well, they'll count on that. But typical roadie situation, right?
Yeah, totally. 100%. I love that. I know I should be saying I'm gonna, really tour this, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I think you get to a certain age, and you just kind of, like I said, you create the magic, and it will find the right places.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you very much for making the record then. And yeah, we do hope to see you up here sometime. And let us know.
Yeah, and I hope you get a copy of the record.
So do I.
I hope you get a copy of the record for your. I can see behind you. You've got.
I got a few. I got a couple.
You got a couple.
Yeah, that's half the collection.
You've got like 15 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'll definitely get a piece of my vinyl, babes. It's quite lovely on vinyl.
All right, very good. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Pleasure. You too, my darling. Bye.